Let's talk about the 1,000 Pound Sisters, Season 8, Episode 6. This is really getting ridiculous. A sweet old auntie. Thank you, subscribers, to my users and viewers. All of y'all who have been here through the long haul. Shall we get into it? Oh, yes, we shall. It's time for auntie advice. Sweet old. It's time for auntie advice. Oh, yeah. It's time for auntie advice. Talk about reconciling indifferences. 1,000 Pound Sister, Season 8, Episode 6. Y'all, I don't know if y'all are getting tired of all of this bickering and this warfare and this fighting that is going on between Tammy and Amy and the rest of the family standing around looking dumbfounded, acting like they don't have any solutions to this, not holding people accountable for the things that they are doing. The family is really getting on my nerves. And in my humble opinion, before I even start this review, if this was Amy that was spearheading all of this hate and acting ignorant, the family would be down Amy's throat. And that's my opinion about it. I don't like how they are partial to Tammy, while all of them appear that they are so afraid of Tammy. But Tammy was left in tears, and I didn't feel no ways tired. No ways tired. Like none. Y'all let me know in the comment section if y'all did. I didn't feel no ways tired. And the thing about it is, the girlfriend, Andrea, is getting tired of her. She's starting to see the side of Tammy that she always knew was there. She knew this was it, and the family knows it was it. And I'm gonna tell y'all before I even get into this room, who I'm mostly I'm disappointed in. Misty. She stands around dumbfounded, like I ain't gonna say nothing. I don't have anything to say about this. I don't like it. Let me holler at my members. Let me recognize my members real quick, y'all, before we get into this. Hello there, Giselle. I want to recognize Giselle. Hey, Barbara Markham. Hey, Boo Boo. Who else we got out here? We got our Randy Thompson. Hello there, Randy. Hey, Miss Kelly. Hi, sweetie. And of course, we got Ray Della, our moderator. We got Mama Mojo. Okay. Welcome, y'all. And welcome to everybody else. I appreciate y'all. Y'all got them notification bells on, okay? Because I just went live and y'all was out there with me there. And then y'all out here with me now. Thank y'all so much for y'all love and for y'all support. And I'm going to tell y'all something, honey, right now. Did y'all see the mess that's going on with Nancy Guthrie? Did y'all see that yesterday they went and locked somebody up and it was the wrong daggone person? Bust the man door down and everything. And it won't even him. It didn't even look like him in the thing. Okay, I'm sorry. I know we're supposed to be talking about that some other time, but I just had to say that to y'all. Like before you go in and snatching somebody from their family and busting their door down, make sure you did all of your homework. Now, I'm not saying that mistakes can't be made, but God, the mama was out there, talk about they took the cell phones. It wasn't her son. He was home on the weekend because his truck got broke down. He wasn't even able to drive anywhere. He trying to make a living. And it won't him. It didn't even look like him. If you took and stripped the mask off, he didn't even fit the profile, in my humble opinion. Now, I was out today. Okay. Today was chemo day. Okay. And so I haven't had a chance to like really catch up with everything in a thorough way. So tomorrow we'll be talking about it. But I'm like, and then they coming out saying that they got another ransom note. There's somebody was like, I snitch for 1 Bitcoin. I said, I this lady is out there, though nobody will know where she is, and this is turning into a circus. This is literally, in my opinion, turning into a circus. Hey, Yolanda, let me get back on point. So, on the 1,000 pound sisters, right? We open up this episode with Amy. Now, of course, we all have been seeing for weeks that Amy is, working on her art, and she uses art as a way, a coping mechanism, and a way to kind of calm herself and regulate, right? And so she's, regulating, herself and stuff. She had went last week out with her girlfriend, and she saw that, they were in this like little cafe like type of thing, and she saw art on the wall. So she went back to the people and asked, hey, can I have an art show here? So they was like, oh, okay, come on up in here. You Amy. Okay, we'll get a little bit of publicity, in the neighborhood and everything. We can put a sign up in the front of the store and say film by TLC. Okay, this is the location. Come on up in here with a cup of coffee for $15.99. So Amy is, kind of insecure about her art. She not really, thinking that, she's going to get a big crowd. She's hoping for that and all of that. She really wants to sell her art. Now, the art, some of it be just looking jacked up. I'm like, who in the is getting that? Child, when the people was standing pointing at the art and was talking about this is nice and that is nice and you did a great job. I mean, if it was one of my friends, I would encourage them. But at the same time, tell somebody the truth, because to have for that art that was hanging up on the wall, tell she should have been giving it away. That's just my opinion about it, right? I'm an art connoisseur and I have all kinds of art and stuff like that in my house. But I'm not hanging up one of Amy's pictures. Now, if I was to go out there and buy one, right, I probably would come online and drag it. I'm gonna go ahead and tell the truth about it. I probably would drag it, sit out here and give me a good kiki off of it. But she doing, she doing what Amy doing what she got to do and all of that. But even with all of the things that is going on, Amy invited Tammy to come out there. She invited her to come to this thing, right? Because as there's a part of her that wants to be reconciled with her sister. She wants that reconciliation. Now, like I said, to me, I ain't into it. But she doing what she do. She called Andrea and she told Andrea, tell Tammy I'm having an art show and she can come. Now, Tammy's whole thing is, why is she calling Andrea? I agree. If you would take her off for block mode, then you can have a conversation with your sister. And you can start putting Andrea. Now, when she said it last week, it was premature because she had put it out there and allowed Andrea to get in contact with Amy, so I just was like, okay, touche. But now when it's the art show and you want your sister to come, call her your god self. Y'all let me know if I'm wrong, if you feeling any kind of way about it. But no, she don't need to keep calling her. She don't need to keep calling Andrea. Unblock Tammy. Invite Tammy to it yourself. Y'all are giving Andrea too much power in your family dynamic. They ain't married. They not living together yet. Like, why is she in the business? I have to agree with Tammy on that. Amy is wrong for reaching out to this girl. She shouldn't even have saved her number, especially given the fact that I'm sure Chris then went around to everybody in the family and told everybody in the family that Tammy told the girl she never wanted her to meet her family. Why the f is Amy calling Andrea? She said, Amy told us that she had given Tammy a picture, a piece of art. Okay. And she wanted it to be a Paris theme, and she wanted it to go into her bathroom. Amy said she made it for Tammy. She said when they got to beefing, she gave it back. And Amy started crying about it. And I was like, why are you crying? Y'all at war. Ain't no crying at war. When you at war, somebody, you need to stand up with you got to put some steel in your back. Why is Amy crying? Is Amy pregnant? Why is she so goddamn emotional over this bull? But okay, she crying because she hurt. It's probably things. Okay, so let me talk to myself because sometimes I can be insensitive because I just think that people just need to grow up, right? Sometimes I believe that you can cry in public, but for the most part, I think that crying is for your pillow. I'm like Miss Abby on Dance Moms. But she crying, Auntie. So, Auntie, let me talk to me real quick. Hold on, y'all. Let me have a conversation with me. So, what you need to do is you need to understand that there's probably a whole lot of things that's going on off camera that you don't see. For real, you think so? Yeah, I do. And I think that you need to chill out and you need to stand down. Okay, I'm going to chill out and I'm going to stand down. I'm going to put it in the back of my mind while I'm out here talking to people that Amy is really sensitive about what's going on between her and her sister. And it's a lot that's going on. That's what you need to say. So I think that Amy is real sensitive because it's a lot of things that's going on off screen that we not seeing. So, she got people gathered around and they, blowing smoke up her butt about her art. Now, there was a couple of pieces that looked okay. But again, $2.50. We should have had an auction on. Amy does good. The family comes in, all that kind of stuff. So, she upset. So it basically hurt Amy. It made her feel like, her sister was calling the stuff trash. And Amy is repeatedly saying she don't care nothing about me. That's how she really feel about me. I'm just like trash to her. But what she got to understand is that Tammy is transitioning and she don't give a about nobody. Plus now she mobile. She can halfway move around. She wobbling and stuff, but she can move around and she doesn't need, and I think that a lot of what they're going through is that Tammy doesn't need Amy the way that she used to either. Right? I think that is playing into what you say, boo. Auntie, you always speak your mind and we wouldn't have it any other way. Love you for it. Thank you so much, morning people. Okay, thank you, boo. I think that it's a lot of, I think that Amy is going through a transition yet, right, y'all? Because Tammy don't need her like she used to. Remember, she used to have to go over there and feed her and all of that. I think it's separation anxiety. I think it's a whole lot of other things that are going on to cause both of them to act like this. And they both so stubborn and nasty, right, that they don't want to, say anything to each other to really reconcile it, right? They don't want to just sit and put Tammy in like a little box tied to a chair and be like, no, you're going to sit here. You're not going to run off. And if she run off, girl, I'm trying to have a conversation with you. You don't want to have this conversation, so I'll wait until you're ready to have this conversation. But I think that, it was just, yes, Randy Thompson. I was just about to say that. It's a bunch of codependency. And so Tammy wants to be codependent on Amy, and Amy is used to Tammy being codependent, and she's used to having to go over there and feed her and take care of her. Tammy now is living over at Chris's house, right? And I think it's just a whole bunch of codependency with all of the siblings. I really do. I think all of the siblings got some of that going on, and right now, all of that is separated. Y'all make sure y'all like, comment, and share this video, okay? Make sure you come back and hype it if you like it. If you don't like it, don't do none of it, okay? Okay. So anyway, right, Tammy, forgets that she complains about Amy. She forgets that, she was the one that started off this situation. So basically, when you hear Tammy talk, like said, I tried to apologize. She should have did this. She should have did that. Tammy doesn't take any responsibility for anything that she does. And so episode after episode, we're seeing Tammy at a place where she is the victim of Amy. And I just don't see it that way. I don't see Tammy being a victim. I see that Tammy is aggressive with all her brothers and sisters except for Misty. Because I think that Misty would put the paws on them. Yeah, I think that Misty would put the paws on her. She doesn't remember or recall, and neither is she grateful for anything that has been done for her in the past. She feel like she, helped with the show. She feel like she did this. She got upset when Andrea said something to her about the art show, and Amy and she felt that Amy should have messaged her. But I agree with that, right? She also claims that she's always apologized to Amy first. I said, when? When? What episode number? What season? What episode have we ever seen Tammy apologize to Amy first, even when they was dragging her around in a wheelchair? When? We ain't seen it. But Tammy has this, oh my God, she just irritated the talk out of me. She said that she's sick of bending over backwards. You couldn't even bend forward to kiss Amy's butt. She has never kissed Amy's butt. If she did, put it down in the comment section. But everybody know Tammy wrong, including Andrea. And won't nobody address that bull. Andrea know that Tammy is lying. She saw that Amy said one thing to her. And she said, well, you shouldn't have disrespected me. That was her justification for calling Amy a deadbeat mom. And Tammy, with no real intellect, in my humble opinion, gets out and storms off and says that Amy was disrespectful to her. I didn't see that episode. I must have missed it. Somebody sent it to me and drop it in my drawers. Because I didn't see it. That's not how that went down. But Andrea won't challenge Tammy. Neither will Chris. Neither will Misty. Neither will Amanda. Like, nobody is challenging her. There was no apology from Tammy, even though Tammy sat there and said, I came in there ready to apologize. Tammy is always having an attitude about something. Tammy said that she didn't want to celebrate her birthday in any special way. She wanted it to pass. But her family ignored her. So we see her girlfriend, Andrea, saying, didn't you want to go-kart riding and X, Y, and Z and knick-knack and, patty rack and give a dog a bone? But of course, Andrea is back up in Chris' face. Andrea, in my opinion, has an agenda. She got an agenda, bitch. Yes, she did. That's my opinion. Y'all let me know y'all's downtown. Y'all know that this comment section down here, that belong to y'all. But that Andrea going back and forth to the brothers and the sisters, this is it's not setting well with me, especially given the fact that on last week's episode she told Chris that Tammy told her, I don't want you talking to none of them. So she convinces her to go to one of those little fun zones and sets it up behind Chris back, behind Tammy back, and sets it up with Chris. But Chris and them, instead of sitting down and saying, y'all two need to get together and cut this bull crap out. I ain't gonna call you. I ain't hanging around neither one of y'all negative is until y'all get this. I'm not doing fun zone. I'm not doing any of this until y'all get it together where everybody can come around and be comfortable around both of y'all asses. Because until you do that, I don't want to be bothered. I don't want to be a third wheel. I don't want to be in the middle of it. I don't want to have to bite my tongue. I don't want to have to play nice with all of y'all. No, I don't want to do any of that. Y'all two just get together and get it together. When you get it together, I'll come around y'all. But outside of that, I don't have anything to do with this. Y'all, I'm sorry. I feel like I'm. I feel like I'm just like ready to go off. I'm not sugarcoating this with y'all. I'm not going to play with either one of y'all. Both of y'all wrong. But Tammy, you went overboard. Matter of fact, when I was in the car with Misty, I told Misty that you went overboard. You don't call somebody a deadbeat mother. Now, is Amy paranoid? Yeah, but the doctor had told us last season that Amy working off what, 15% brain power? So she don't know whether or not it's a camel down at the thing. Just tell her it ain't no daggone camel down there. You ain't got to call her all kinds of stuff. Until y'all get this together, y'all, both of y'all, I don't want to be around either one of y'all. Both of y'all toxic. But no, they all want to play nice for the camera. Because I'm sure that that's how most of them are living right now. I see somebody talking about the mama. I ain't going to talk about the mama because she ain't been in none of the episodes. But when she show up, we'll drag her. I'll drag her when she show up. But right now, the mother ain't there. We don't hear the mother saying nothing. Thank you, Boo Boo Boo, for your comment, though. All of them take after the mama. All of them rude. All of them nasty. Amanda, Misty, The only one that's not Ruru and just come off Ruru is Chris. But Chris is shady. He keeps going on in the family. He talking to this one, that one, other. He's stirring the pot. Chris is the one that's sitting up there waiting for them to put all the ingredients in the pot, and he stirred the He stirred. So they all messy, in my humble opinion. God. So Chris and them bring their little catering stuff down to little Amy's stuff and all of that. Right? His wife catered the event. Misty, I guess, was trying to look like she was dressing for the occasion. That woman is very unattractive. And I'm being nice. I'm being nice. They all went to this amusement park. She is saying she can see that Tammy want Amy back in her life. But it's Tammy's pride and ignorance that's keeping her from doing this. Now, Amy is excited about it because she get an opportunity to spend time with her family. But ain't nobody tell her. They all get down to the little amusement park, right? They find out when they get there and they all gather together. Amanda looking like she could barely stand up. I don't know why they didn't get her a wheelchair. And that's when Amy and her fiance find out that this is Tammy's birthday. So Amy was like, they ain't tell me it was the birthday. I mean, lies, 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 and more lies. And I'm going to tell you right now, that's manipulation, that's control, and that's some BS. To not tell that girl that this was Tammy's birthday party. It's manipulative. It's dirty. It's gutter to me. Don't have me showing up at some place where my enemy is, whether we're going to be enemies for life or enemy for 5 minutes. Don't set me up to be in a room with somebody that I'm beefing with. The family stirs the pot. Now, is it causing us to continue to watch? Yeah, but stop that shit. And then get mad when Amy's mad and blow her off like it doesn't make a difference. This what we doing. All the family get together. We all can get together. No, we all cannot get together. Not right now. We have some unfinished business and a whole lot of messy stuff that's going on. And we need to get this straight up in this month. Don't sit here and play these school games with me. No, Amy was right to feel some kind of way. They got their little pumpkin outfit on. You know what I'm saying? All of them got their little matching shirts and stuff. They bring it down there and Amy is like, I'm down here because I want to spend time with my siblings and stuff like this. And they pull this number on them. They would have never did this to Tammy. But Tammy come walking through the door. She's so rude. She always looking at Amy. I'm so sick of Tammy, y'all. I swear. And I'm sick of the family. And I'm just calling a thing or how I see it. Y'all let me know how y'all see it down in the comment section. Y'all ain't got to agree with me. Y'all can tell me, Auntie, you wrong about it. But I think that there's favoritism in the family, and I think that they all scared of Tammy. And Andrea's standing up there looking stupid. Her and Krista met each other, but Krista said, oh, when I walk up in there and I see Andrea, I'm going to act like I ain't never met her a day in my life. But then got bust out. He already got bust out. When you reached out to Chris, And everybody just going with the lie. You want to know what brand this is, baby? What brand of lipstick is? This is a Mabelline. I'll put it in, I'll tag it, okay? Because I don't have it with me. It's in my bathroom in my makeup case. So I'll drop it down, okay, in the drawers. But what I have on my lips, right, are two different shades of lipstick, okay? And so I will drop all of them down in the chat for you, okay, sweetie pie? I see you right here. Where you at? Okay. Okay, I'll drop them down there and in the chat, and you can go ahead on the order, right? If you order it, I get a small commission for it, and you get a discount. Okay, what you saying, boo? Tammy waiting until Amy is leaving and saying, "I love you, I love you." Tammy is the paycheck. Just saying. Yep, everyone is walking on eggshells. Exactly. Thank you, Annie. Annie said, Auntie, you right all the way. Thank you, Annie. Annie said she don't care what none of y'all think. I'm right all the way. Mhm. They all. And then I didn't even know Misty had a special needs son. Misty had it. I saw this guy standing there, and I was like, you can tell he a little special need. I ain't know that was Misty's son. Ain't nobody tell me why y'all ain't send me the memo on this. Y'all know I got a right to know. But y'all ain't tell me nothing. Anyway, I digress. I digress. So Amy and them going to do what they do. Tammy and her girlfriend get on the go-kart. They all get on the go-kart. Misty looking raggedy. Wait a minute. So Chris said that Misty has lost weight, right? Y'all know we all know she had the surgery and stuff. So Chris was telling, was talking about, they was at the closet and Misty was taking her clothes and stuff out, right? And Misty was, basically like, I'm losing all this weight. So Chris says she lost 50 pounds. She's down from a size 18 down to a size 8. Congratulations, because I'm trying to get my weight back off of me. Okay. Now I ain't having no daggone plastic surgery. I ain't having no weight loss surgery. You do what you do. I just need to take my back up to the gym and cut these Diet Cokes out my life. Okay. I got to get the Diet, because the Diet Cokes blow me up right here. I don't know why. They blow me up right here and downtown to the bottom of my stomach. And I just hate looking at myself. I'm like, okay, I don't even want to get on the scale. I used to get on the scale every day. That helped me regulate stuff. But since I ain't been on the scale, I had to go and buy a new one. Y'all, I had to go and buy a new scale because my oldest poodle was barking and blew the vibrations from her bark blew my scale out. So I went and got another one. I've had that scale now in the house for 2 weeks. I ain't opened it yet because I'm too scared to see how much weight I have gained back. Now I know I ain't gained it all back, but right here, all up in here, and all up and down, up and through here, yeah. Now I still can get into, some of my 12s and stuff like that, but they getting tight. Them just getting tight. So I have got to get back, okay, into the rhythm of it because I'm like, okay, summertime, you ain't gonna have nothing to wear. You have to buy a whole new wardrobe because you got rid of all of your 24s, 22s, 20, 18, you know what I'm saying, 16s. All that stuff's gone. All you got is like 14 to 12. So how long you gonna be wearing sweatsuits? You ain't gonna be able to wear that in the summertime. You're gonna put your cute dresses on. They're gonna be tight in them up. Okay. Anyway, enough about me. I'm just saying I need to get this weight off. And y'all watch and see. I'm gonna be getting this weight off. You say yours is bread? Oh, I like me some bread too now. Oh, I likes me some bread. Okay. Okay, Giselle said bread for her too. She said that's her weakness. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. And then not cutting, depending on what my schedule is, okay, um, eating after 6. Because I had trained myself to cut off all of my feeding. I was incremental fasting. So Um, I would incremental fast most of the day. I only gave myself maybe, I think I gave myself a 6 hour window to eat in, and I never ate after 5, 6 o'clock. Right now, I'm eating. Child, this ain't about me, okay? This is not about me. Anyway, this is my confession, okay, Asha. So Chris was, talking about the clothes and stuff like that. And he said, did you know she had lost all that pound? And you can see she's lost a significant amount of weight. And so he picks her up and everything. He was like, I can pick you up. So they start having the conversation about, her wanting a baby. And, she was like, okay, he was like, you 40. I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell you right now. I thought she was my age. I ought to be ashamed of myself, but 40, 30 now, 40? You couldn't have told me that Brittany was that young. I thought she was round about my age. At least I felt like she was 55. So when they see how young she was, I was like, she's still in an age where she can have babies. It's going to be a little bit more complicated. So she wants Chris to go and get himself checked. And Chris was like, ain't nothing wrong with me. I got two of them running around kids. We got grandkids up in this camp. But she was like, okay, but you still can go and check. You ain't had no kids in a minute, so let you go ahead and check. Chris really don't want no kids. But he loves Brittany, so he wants to do it. So she was like, let's go and, get tested and stuff like that. So Chris agreed, and he was like, okay, I'm going to have to do what I got to do. And she was like, no, when you go and do what you got to do to put, a specimen in that cup, I need you to be thinking about me, and I don't need you to be thinking about no corn. I said, oh, okay. So Chris had been talking about, so anyway, they was downtown to the thing, right? And we back at the center. So they was down at the thing, and Amy was doing her own thing. Of course, she was peeking at Tammy. Tammy was peeking at her. You know what I'm saying? They got on the little go-kart thing and all of that. Amanda ended up leaving because Amanda is really sick. She looked very sick. And so, she went around one time. She showed up. But when she walked up out of there, I said, she need an escort. Anyway, I digress. So, Tammy was scared to get on, the go-kart because she didn't think that, she could lift herself up with her arms and stuff like that. And I was like, okay, so she ended up getting on there. I was glad she did because back in the day, if Tammy said no, it was no, and if you had a problem with it, she was gonna cuss you out. But she ended up getting on it. She had a good time and stuff like that. So Amy, having her kids there and playing with her kids and stuff, because stuff like that is really for kids. Um, and so, she was having fun. She was thinking that the other kids was gonna come. I guess they didn't. And so eventually her and her fiance ended up leaving. And as she was leaving, Tammy was like, all right, bye, love you. Bye, love you. Bye, love you. Amy kept kicking. They asked Amy, did you hear? Amy was like, hear what? Tammy was saying that she loved you. Amy was like, no, I hear. Amy no damn well she heard her. She know damn well she heard her. But she kept it pushing. She kept it pushing. And the thing about it is, Amy is like, I'm not tolerating that mess from her no more. I am not tolerating that. And I swear it's fair. It's fair. You can't treat somebody poorly and then expect when you want to come around without a conversation that I'm supposed to oblige you, not fuck you. No. You love me when? The moment, if let's say Amy heard her and said, I love you too, what was that going to accomplish without a real conversation? If you new here, I want you to know something about Auntie. I have called Amy out and dragged Amy when Amy has needed to be dragged. I have called all of them out when they need to be dragged. And I have an opinion about them. I'm going to say it and I'm going to try to be as fair as I can. So I don't want y'all to think that for one moment I don't see Amy. In this situation, this is Tammy. You don't get the right to have access to me. When you walking out, you refuse to talk. You calling me all kinds of bitches. You're sitting up there calling me a deadbeat mom, which is like that's like you a straight gutter snipe when you saying stuff like that. You don't mess with them. Now Amy may have had some moments where she was trifling with her kids, especially after her and Michael was going through the stuff. But she got a man who care about her, who's helping to turn it around for her. She's finding different things that she can do and invest with herself with this the art she got. But Tammy don't get the right to dictate how somebody else responds by throwing some on the ground and expecting her to lick it or clean it up. You don't get the right to say I love you. Because if you love me, you would treat me the way that I should be treated, or the way you should treat someone you love. Y'all know that she don't be bucking all up in Andrea's face. She knows how to temper her anger. She knows how to say what it is she's supposed to say. Tammy ain't stupid, but she is so used to abusing the people who are around her. So they goes into a conversation about going to New Orleans. Tammy, who now sits up there, this is a grudge holding old raggedy looking who life was saved, because Tammy should have been dead at 772 or 752 pounds, 700 pounds, period. She could have left off out of this earth. She is so unappreciative. She gonna sit there and tell the family, I don't want to go to New Orleans. Wait a minute. What? Girl, what the? Now you don't want to go? What the are you talking about? I told y'all I ain't want to go. You a lie. You when we brought up going to New Orleans, you said and he said that he was taking it for Brittany, go for what Brittany had accomplished. What did Tammy say? What did Tammy say? Put it down in my drawers in the comments. Tammy said that I want to go. And not only do I want to go, I want y'all to celebrate my accomplishments and all the stuff that I did to lose the weight. Tammy flipped this to make this about her. And now you sitting here saying you said you didn't want to go? You's a mother lie. Now she tells us a story because she been holding a grudge against Brittany because she said that when they were on their last vacation, that Brittany hit her with a purse. She said that when they was in the UK, that when she was on a bus, that Brittany hit her with a purse and tried to knock her down. She pushed her. She said that Chris caught her before she fell. Now, just you saying that Chris caught you before you fell is a mother lie. Young, Chris wouldn't have been able to hold you. So we already know that's a lie. You're crickety anyway. Your legs is crickety. You got to build the muscle back up in them. Young, if somebody blow hard, you falling. You weebling and wobbling, and it's not a criticism. But why would Brittany be mad or jealous with you? You not competition. You're his sister. Chris know that he has not dealt with boundaries when it come down to his family. Period. Period. Chris don't know boundaries. He's let you be disrespectful in Brittany's house. He had to get you out and put a house next door because you was disrespectful. He said last week that if you got a problem with Brittany, you gonna have one with him. Tammy, you nasty, young. And ain't nobody checking you. Do y'all believe? Let me poll y'all. And then we gonna get on up out of here. Let me see what y'all think. Because I'm the one that's out here talking. Let me see. Did Brittany, and what's going on with Brittany and that daggone headband? I know y'all probably have told me a million times what's going on with Brittany and the headband, but I don't get it. Okay, so did Brittany try to knock Tammy down in the UK? Okay, simple poll. Yes or no? Let's see what y'all say. Yes or no? It's 700 of y'all in here. Yes or no? Did Brittany try to knock Tammy down in the UK? We'll start the votes at 50. We'll end the poll. Right now we're up to 37. Yeah, I think she do have alopecia. Yeah, because she's been wearing them every season since they've been on, and they've been on now 8 seasons. I think she got alopecia, something going on with them edges. Let me see. Let me go back to the poll. Let me see if we up to 50 votes. Yeah. Yes, we are. We have 51. Y'all need me to keep it open? Okay, y'all still voting. Okay. Like I said, it's over 700 of y'all in here. Let's see what the votes are. We can at least get 100 votes. It's 700 of y'all out here. Now, I ain't going to beg y'all. Okay. Because I ain't got time to beg, no. Tammy has never said anything about this bush or that there was a real beef between her and Brittany. Where did this come from? Why is Tammy trying to cause problems in Chris' relationship with Brittany? She was jealous of her the brickety break when Chris said, I want to celebrate my wife's weight loss. You going from a size 18 down to a size 8? That's a hell of an accomplishment. She wants to have a baby. They think that Chris is too old and he don't want one. I absolutely agree. I don't think Chris want a baby either. I think that he will try to give it to Brittany, but he running behind grandkids. Tammy is saying she can't go. Okay, here's the thing. Tammy is saying she can't go because there's a beef, right? She beefing with Brittany and all that. But she was beefing with Amanda when they went to the UK. They ended up getting together and apologizing and having a conversation with each other, her and Amanda, in the UK. She went there calling Amanda all kinds of bees, treating her house like it wasn't. Am I wrong? Was she not in an argument with Amanda? Was she not beefing with Amy? You talking about a jealous hearted person? I could never be around Tammy. I've been a beat. All right, we have 63 votes. I'm going to end the poll and I'm going to tell y'all what the results of it are. Okay, here's the poll. Here's the results. You put them down in this chat. Did Brittany try to knock Tammy down in the UK? 90% of y'all said no, while 10% of y'all said yes. Do I believe that Brittany tried to knock Tammy down in the UK? Hell yeah, she did. And if she could have, she probably would have busted in the head, back of the head. Do I believe that Brittany is sick of Tammy? Because remember, if I'm not mistaken, y'all correct me if I'm wrong. That's when she was beefing with Amanda and living with her and Chris. Now, am I wrong? Y'all let me know. Let me know in the chat. I'm looking. Was when they went to the UK, who was Tammy beefing with? Wasn't she? Let me ask. Let me ask Google. Amanda over their house, and she had been living with Chris And Brittany. Do I think she got on Brittany's nerve? And that Brittany probably bumped her? Put a little fear in her fat heart? Do I believe that she tried to take a little low blow on Tammy downtown to the bus in the UK? Yup. She probably said a little bit of fear in her heart. Cause Brittany, remember y'all that Brittany was saying that Tammy, every time Chris turned around, Tammy was in the car riding shotgun. Remember, Tammy was the one that was always stuck up Chris' butt, and Brittany had a problem with it. So do I think she took a little, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. I wouldn't put it past her. Do I think that Tammy deserved it? No. I think that was a little dangerous. But if she wanted to get some get back, would she be wrong for wanting to get some get back? Not in my opinion. But you don't be trying to push mama from the train. But I think Brittany is absolutely tired of Tammy. I think all the family is tired of Tammy. They just don't want to say it. But the girl is out of pocket and she out of line almost 7 days a week. She is living with a woman that I don't believe gonna stay with her. I don't believe that Andrea is gonna stay with her. And I think that Tammy reason for not wanting her to be around the family is because then Andrea get to see the real Tammy. Mm-hmm. Yeah. She was beefing with Amanda, and Amanda could barely walk. She had knee surgery, and she bucking up in somebody's house. Okay. Anyway, y'all, that is the conclusion of my review. I don't know what made Tammy bring that up and use that as an excuse. They saying it's the first time they heard it. But when she don't want to do something and she want to be right and she want to manipulate the situation, this is the kind of stuff that Tammy does. This is the stuff that she does. Y'all, thank y'all so much for being here with me today to talk about and recap the 1,000 Pound Sisters, Season 8, Episode 6, Reconciling Indifferences. And they ain't reconcile Jack. Until the next time, y'all be safe out there in those streets and in the water and know that I love you. Thank you for being here. I truly appreciate y'all. Bye, y'all.